Funding is never a problem for good real estate deals and good real estate investors. So by the end of this video, my goal is to show you how to find good real estate deals and even identify what a good real estate deal is, as well as how to become a good real estate investor, or at least be perceived by one. So many people start right where you are right now, watching videos about how to get started in real estate, but they skip what's in this video. And as a result, they never actually get started. I'm going to give you all the steps you need, but you have to promise me you will not skip around, because skipping around is how you start off on the wrong foot and create gaps in your real estate business. So if you want to be among the 1% who actually get started, make sure you watch this video to the end, and I'll even give you some cool resources that you can tap into to actually put into action further than just watching what I'm about to show you today. Let's get started. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Art Morrison III. I'm a real estate investor, and I've raised over 8 figures to buy real estate using none of my own money. I've also coached hundreds of clients to do the same. And what I see most common is that people think raising money or using other people's money starts with asking. It does not start with asking for money. I've had people slide in my DMs or, book calls with me and just go right into asking for money. And this is one of the most common mistakes. This whole journey of doing real estate using none of your own money, guys, it starts with credibility, okay? It starts with deal flow, and it starts with what you're gonna get today, clarity. So look, if you wanna use other people's money to close real estate deals, you need more than just a dream and a pitch. You need a brand that people trust, a pipeline of real opportunities, and a simple system for presenting the deals the right way. So that's what this playbook is gonna walk you through. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm not an attorney, okay? This is not legal advice. Our legal advice is to seek legal advice, legal counsel from a qualified attorney before entering any partnership, investment arrangement, or legal agreement. I wanna say that early on. There are simple and complex ways to do what I'm gonna show you today. And those complex ways sometimes literally require an attorney. They require SEC compliance, which is kind of complex for what we're gonna talk about today, but just put that in the back of your mind before you start getting a grand idea of raising millions and billions and trillions of dollars. But look, let's dial it back in. In order to even get a dime from anyone, in order to do real estate, you need to launch a brand, guys. Before you ever ask someone to invest with you, you need to look like a real business. You need to show that you actually invested in yourself. And there's a couple of things that I recommend that you do if you haven't already in order to achieve this. So the first thing you need, guys, is an official LLC. If you're watching this and you haven't gone and formed an LLC to actually conduct business, then literally pause the video, open another tab, go to the state website and form the LLC, guys. It takes 15 minutes, don't overcomplicate it. You can use like LegalZoom or Zen Business or something to do it, but why pay the fee? Learn how to go do it on your own. An LLC and an EIN number so you go open a bank account. This is step 1. Step 2, I'm gonna throw it up on the screen here. My logo, my company name is United Home Relief. Once you have a name, you want a nice, clean, professional logo. Every company you can think of, every successful company especially, has a logo that comes to mind immediately, whether it's Nike, Disney, Tesla, Apple. You think a logo, you're no different. You need to create this so that you can start to be recognizable in the space. A clear color scheme. What are your colors? That list of businesses I just named, I'm sure you could think and imagine a color, right? Or like a feel. That's what you're trying to do when you choose your color scheme for your business. Mine is like green, black, and white. We actually added like a taupe in there to kind of soften it, but that's our color scheme right now. And every couple of years we rebrand if I get sick of the color. So don't overthink this step. Consistent fonts as well, right? You don't always want to be switching your fonts. Today it's cursive, tomorrow it's Time New Roman, then it's like the Apple Helvetica simple minimalist font. Pick a font so that you can have a consistent look and feel with your business, because ultimately your brand is how you're going to be making people feel consistently. And then the obvious ones, guys, a website and social media pages. I recommend these for Googleability, right? So whether you're talking to motivated sellers or you're talking to potential investors, you're going to get Google. And the easiest way to build trust is by covering that whole first page with your company. If they Google your company, you want that whole first page to be covered with your content, links to your business. If you create a LinkedIn page, a Facebook, an Instagram, even a YouTube, a Google My Business page, plus your website, that's 6 links that should cover the entire first page. Your brand, guys, it creates credibility, it shows commitment, professionalism, and it separates you from everyone who's thinking about getting started. Now listen, when it comes to launching a brand and then doing the following steps I'm gonna break down to you, everything you're gonna see in this video is exactly what my company does for our clients so that they don't have to do all this. They can get right to the real estate and right to the capital raising. If you are the type of person who would just rather be walked through this, then I'm going to put a link in the description where you can apply for our Deal Flow Accelerator and book a call with me, and we can chat exactly about what it is you're trying to do, where you are, and how we can bridge that gap together. All right, moving right along. So step 2, you're gonna need to build a capital list. So if you wanna raise money, you need people to raise money from, okay? My favorite thing to do for all my clients who are just getting started is have them compile a list of 50 or more people who have access to capital or at least strong financial positioning. So this is people who've owned their home for a really long time, right? These people probably have equity in their home, or they're just a stable person with a lot of money. High income earners, people who you know have a high income job, professional athletes maybe, engineers, doctors, lawyers, people who you know make a lot of money, okay? Strong savers, people who you just know are frugal, right? Who you just know, like, okay, they sitting on the bag. Like, this person has been stacking up for a while. This is someone who values money, right? People with retirement accounts. So this kind of goes with people who've been on their job for a long time, but people with retirement accounts are one of the best vehicles to invest in real estate. So people with these, type of accounts are the best people to partner with potentially for you. Individuals with home equity. Now, this is similar to people who've owned their home for a long time, but someone can have home equity on a house that they bought a month ago, and that's because maybe they bought it cash, right? Or maybe they already purchased a house, they have it cash, and they want to kind of roll that equity into something else, another investment, another property. Or maybe they bought the property at one point in the market, and a year or two later, it shot up in value, and they have a ton of equity in it. Wealthy individuals, not to be confused with high income earners. Wealthy individuals could be people who inherited wealth or just have a lot of assets. And then lastly, well-connected individuals, okay? People who know a lot of the list of people that I just mentioned, right? You might not be a people person, so it might be great for you to connect with someone who is a people person who has a stronger network than you. It'll save you a lot of time in networking, although I always recommend networking. Now, of these 50 people that you thought of, you want to collect their name, email, and phone number. Now, if you know them well, you probably already have their name, email, and phone number. Okay, so you're just going to put these in a simple spreadsheet. If you don't have their name, email, and phone number, if you have their number, message them and get their email. If you have their email, you can email them and get their phone number. Or if it's just someone you know on social media, you can simply DM them. Now, what are you going to say to them? Well, here's step 3, right? We want to engage these people. We don't want to wait until we need the money and then we're hitting them asking for it. This is the mistake that a lot of people make in this space. And it's very frustrating, even for me as an investor. Like, people come to me just ask for money and it's like, bro, I haven't heard from you in forever. I think we all know these kind of people, right? What we're going to do instead is, once our brand is launched, right? That's step 1, where we have everything created. We have an actual company that we can say, hey, everyone, look at my company. What you want to do is position yourself early, okay? A simple outreach, and I give you guys the script right here. Super simple, and you can create other variations of it. But the gist is this: hey, my name is whatever your name is, and my real estate company is whatever your company name is. Our focus is on, and you say whatever strategy. Are you trying to buy rentals? Are you trying to do fix and flips? What are you trying to do? Airbnb? What's the deal? Okay. And you're going to say, look, we're actively looking for partners who want to invest in real estate with us. If you're someone with cash, equity, retirement funds, or just general interest in real estate, reply and let me know you're interested. If you know someone who fits that description, feel free to connect us. All you're saying is, hey, I'm looking for other people who are interested in real estate. I'm looking for other people with money who are looking to get in real estate. You're not saying I have a deal and I need X amount of dollars or anything like that. It's just a simple script. Now, I always try new variations. Sometimes I don't even mention like cash, equity, retirement funds, or anything. Sometimes I just lead with, if you're someone who's always wanted to get into real estate, like, let's connect. There's a way that we can do this together. And then I further explore the conversation of, okay, is this person going to help me find deals? Are they going to help me fund deals? How am I going to use them, right? So you can cast a wider net, like that second example I just gave you, or you can just get right to it. If you got cash, equity, retirement funds, and you're interested in investing in real estate, like, let's connect. That's all we're saying, okay? And you're going to do this across, social media DMs. I actually like to, you can use ChatGPT and turn this into like a Facebook status. Just, hey everyone, excited to announce I just launched my real estate company, whatever your company is. Here's what we're going to be working on and doing. If any of you have been interested in doing real estate, let's freaking do it. Basically what you're saying, right? But in a social media status, right? Facebook, Instagram, right? You can blast on all your social media while also texting and email all of your list that you compile. You can even call them as well and just have a brief chat, okay? Now, let's say you send that out and you got a bunch of people who's like, I'm interested. This is where, like, there's some of you who might be watching this who are like, I know a ton of people with money. I even have hard money lenders that always message me, in the forums and stuff saying, if you want deals, I'll fund them. But every time I send them a deal, they say no, right? Or I can never get people to respond to me whenever I say I have a deal. Well, that's probably because you skipped step 1, which is having a brand. And then this step here, step 4, finding an actual deal, finding a real deal. And this is, you guys can see I put here that, guys, this is the most important step. This is where everyone fails. You're not good enough at having good deals. You're not good enough at putting fat, juicy deals that will make the other people money, right? If you want other people's money, you gotta be able to make other people's money. If that makes sense. If you want to use their money, you gotta be able to make them money. So if you're unable to do that, if you're stuck there and you have a brand and you have a great network, okay, you probably just have not successfully found a good, juicy deal. And that's okay. I'm gonna show you today exactly how to do so. So lock in with me today, okay? Now, what is a fat, juicy deal? This is deals that leave enough margin for profit, obviously, okay? Risk, which is what you're gonna be taking, that's what investing is, taking a little risk, and partner returns, making sure that whoever's money you're using, they're gonna make money, okay? Now, here's my favorite formulas to use. For fix and flips, I like to buy deals that are below 70% of the ARV. So that means that if I find a house and someone wants $150,000 for it, I'm looking at what is this house worth in its best condition? And if that house is worth $300,000 in its best condition, I'm gonna take 70% of that. 70% of $300,000 is $210,000. Okay, they only want 150, so it seems like a good deal. Well, then I still have to subtract what it would cost to make the 300,000, to make it worth 300,000. So if it costs 60 grand, that puts me at 150, and that's actually a good deal. If it costs 100 grand, just like that, 150 is not a good deal, and my offer needs to be lower, even if they're asking 150. Okay. Now for rental deals, we're just looking for strong cash flow with a healthy debt service coverage ratio. If you ever heard the term DSCR, that's what it stands for, debt service coverage ratio. An easy, fast way to do this is the 1% rule, okay? Is the monthly rent 1% of the value, okay? If I'm getting $2,000 a month, I need to get a house for less than $200,000, right? If I spend $300,000, I'm only getting $2 grand a month, not a good deal, okay? 1% rule, really easy, quick math. Okay, 1% rule. Is the monthly rent greater than 1% of the price that I got the property for? Okay. Now, I provide a deal calculator here in this document. If you guys want this document, because I'm going to give you a couple of links. If you want this document that I'm going over, there's also going to be a link in the description for you to download the document. You can have it. There's no, you just put your email in. I send you the document immediately via email. Okay. That document is going to give you numerous links, including this deal calculator. I'll even give you guys a sneak peek of what the deal calculator looks like. All right, lovely. So this is what it looks like, fairly complex. Again, I can even give you a video of how to use this as well. But just wanted to show you the detail in which we evaluate our deals to make sure that they're good and that they're going to make other people money. So anyway, moving along, how do you actually find these deals? Now, I have a ton of videos on my page. I actually link one here of how to find so many deals, you won't even know what to do with them. But finding deals in a nutshell is not relying on listings, not going on Zillow. That's not where the deals are. Now, I always recommend if you're going to use the market, use that formula I gave you a little earlier in this video, and just make sure you offer at a number where you make money. Do not go off the asking price, please. Fastest way to waste your time, or even worse, lose money on a deal by overpaying. What you want to do, guys, is you want to find off-market opportunities, which means you're buying directly from a seller, okay? This allows them to avoid agent commissions, avoid wholesaler fees, and it allows you to buy properties below the true market value, okay? Now, I gave you an off-market deal training here as well. As promised, I'm going to link it here. But buying off-market is single-handedly one of the things that exploded my business, okay? If you don't have a deal, you don't have opportunity. If you have a weak deal, you don't have an investor, okay? But if you have a strong deal, a deal where there's not a ton of hands in the pot, there's not two real estate agents that need to be paid and all of that. If you can find a deal direct to seller, okay, now you have leverage, you have confidence, and ultimately you will have funding. But it doesn't stop there, okay? You got a good brand, you got a list, you found a good deal, good for you, okay? Finding a good deal is not enough. You got to get that bad boy under contract, okay? A deal is not real until you control it. And this is where people get scared. People think that you need to have the money before getting it under contract. This is where some cojones are required, okay? This is where the risk is. I'm going to get a deal under contract and I don't have it funded. Well, that's exactly what you're going to do, right? If you have that list compiled and you told them exactly what you're going to do and you had a conversation with them and they give you what's called a capital commitment, which is basically just them saying, yeah, if you find a good deal, I'm in. Right? The risk, the way that you earn the ability to use other people's money is by putting deals under contract to purchase so that you have control, leverage, and urgency, okay? Now you've got something real to present to that list, to all those people who said, yeah, I'm in, let's do it. So what you're gonna do next is create a deal deck. Okay, maybe I'll put an example of a deal deck up on the screen as well. But a deal deck is so simple, guys. You want to give the address so that your partner, your potential investor, your potential funding source can look up the property themselves and verify everything you're saying. You want to provide some photos, okay, so that they can see what the investment is. What is this asset you're excited about that you're presenting to me? You want to have what's called an executive summary. And an executive summary is just a short write-up, almost like a listing write-up that you would see on Zillow, but it's like the investor version. Why is it a good property? Why is it a good investment? How are you going to make the money? And obviously you want to share with them the numbers. How much is the deal? What's it worth when you're done renovating it? If it is a renovation, what's the rehab cost? And then how much is this bad boy gonna make? Okay. Again, if it's a rental, we're gonna add here, what's the rental income? Okay. that's also going to dictate how strong of an investment it is, okay, if you're pitching buying a rental. Now, you also want to give them their investment details. How much money do you need from them? And what are you using the money for, okay? I like to get the money I like to get it for the down payment, obviously, but I like to do closing costs. I like to do reserves. I like to do 12 months. I also like to do construction deposit. Like, guys, I don't like to come out of pocket any money at all, like nothing. I want this to be 100% financed. I do all the work. We're gonna make this thing happen. I'm the operator. You're gonna make some nice chill income, right? Match made in heaven, perfect partnership. That's what you want to present. Now, this is gonna get easier and easier as you do more deals. That goes without saying. If you're watching this, I'm sure you're imagining, oh, this is gonna be so hard on my first one. But when you can show someone that you did one, it's gonna be easier. Then when you can show the third person that you did two, twice as easy. And then once you get like 3 or more, people are going to be throwing money at you because you have now become the vehicle to making money. Okay. Moving along, exit strategy. How are we getting out of the deal? I don't want to be stuck in this deal with you forever. How are you getting me my money back and getting me out of it? Or how are we collectively as a partner getting out of the deal? Are you selling it? Are you refinancing? What's the deal? Okay. And then lastly, the investor return. Are you going to pay me interest if I give you the money? Okay. Are we sharing the profits? How long is it going to take? Okay. And in total, what is my return on investment going to look like? All right. This clarity equals confidence. Okay, and in this case, we're talking about confidence for the investor. Now, I provided a deal deck example in this document too. So like I said, guys, if you go in the description, you can just click that link to download this exact document. And as you can see, it's gonna give you like 5 documents at this point. So you have everything you need to actually go and execute this, okay? It's not just about watching a YouTube video. If you're still watching, so proud of you. You're better than 60% of most people and more serious than those people. And as a result, you're gonna get results, okay? Now, number 7, let's present the opportunity. Now, you're gonna send your deal deck to the people who already showed interest, all right? Keep it simple. Share the opportunity and offer them to book a call with you. That's it. Hey, let's hop on the phone. When you get on that phone call, you answer questions, but you're really gonna let the deal speak for you. You're not here to convince. You're not here to beg, okay? They either want to make money or not, and they either think this deal will make them money or not. My favorite part about this section is that you're going to get such good feedback. The feedback that you get on this deal is gonna be amazing, even if no one offers you the money. It's gonna show you the kind of deals that people are actually looking for, and it's gonna make you better at what you do, better at using OPM, because now you can say, okay, they didn't like this deal. No one liked this deal because it was a condo, or no one liked this deal because the construction was too high, or no one liked this deal because they seemed like it wasn't enough profit margins for them. That means 2 things need to happen. You need to get a bigger list of people that you can talk to about this, A, and then B, you need to find better deals. Okay, so you need to beef up your deal flow, which, like I said, there's other videos and resources I have on my YouTube channel. If you guys aren't already subscribed, I suggest you do right now, because there's a ton of videos that solve both of those problems, right? How to grow your brand for capital raising, as well as how to find and optimize deal flow, better deals, nice flow of fat, juicy deals, okay? Now, here's a little bonus, how to structure the financing. Now, listen, guys, we talked about using other people's money, and I probably could have put this at the beginning, but this is the surprise. If you're watching to this point, you're like, how the heck am I gonna get all the money for a house and all the money for all that stuff? But if you notice, if I go back up here, I didn't say anything about the full purchase price, okay? I just said the down payment. And the reason being is because here's the bonus. If you find property below that formula I gave you earlier, okay, 70% of the ARV minus construction cost, a hard money lender, and there's plenty of videos on my channel, make sure you guys subscribe because I don't want to be redundant here. But hard money lenders will give you up to 100% of the money to buy it, typically 90%, okay, but they go as high as 100. And they're going to give you 100% of the construction. So all you need is the deposit for both. A deposit to give the construction team to start, and a deposit or a down payment to buy the house, typically 10%. So if you have in my example earlier, $150,000 house, you only need $15,000 down payment, and then you have closing costs and other things. You might only need $30,000 total for that deal. I promise you right now, there's someone in your network with $30,000 who's looking for a real estate deal just like you. If you can be the person to bring that real estate deal, to bring that opportunity, package it up beautifully, as well as manage the project because they don't have the time to, there you have it. You will close your first real estate deal using none of your own money. And it's literally that simple, okay? So at this point in the video, guys, you know how to find deals, you know how to analyze them, and you know how to present them, okay? Here's how the deal actually gets funded. The bank's gonna give you 90%, okay, of the money to buy it. They're gonna give you 100% of the renovations. The remaining cost is covered by the private capital. When structured properly, this allows you to control real estate with little to none of your own money, okay? We already talked about the formula. Here it is again. This is how lenders lenders approve deals. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about how long you've been on your job. They just care about this formula, okay? And for rentals, it's the same thing. That 1% rule, that's what they care about, okay? And that's my favorite thing about hard money lenders. Now, if you want access to my hard money lenders that I borrowed millions and millions of dollars from, like I said, click that link in the description and you can book a call with me and we can chop it up about what you're missing. Sometimes that means you taking us up on maybe one or a few of our services, and sometimes it's just me connecting you with the right people or giving you a resource. So click that link, apply, and book a call so we can fill those gaps, okay? Now, OPM, other people's money. We say a lender is gonna give us all this money. We already talked about what the OPM is gonna cover, okay? Down payment, closing costs, these are fees to complete the purchase, okay? Title, the lender charges commission, okay? There's gonna be costs here. Appraisal, inspection, they even cost money if you wanna cover those, okay? And then you have carrying costs. I put reserves, okay? Another word for reserves. Clear here. I want you guys to have the ultimate clarity. These are the expenses while holding the property. So interest, taxes, utilities, right? Even if you're flipping a house for 3 months, that means you have to pay this for the 3 months that you own it, okay? And then there's reserves again, extra funds for unexpected issues or delays. I'm gonna put reserves and contingencies here. Now, this changes everything. When you combine the deal analysis, okay, the financing and the private capital, you remove the biggest barrier, and that's money. So now it's simple. You just got to learn how to find deals, okay? You just learned how to fund them, and now you have to learn how to systemize it so you can put it on repeat. I told you guys, here are my lenders below. You guys can get access to all of my private lenders right here. The goal of this video is just to give you guys all the value you need to actually close a deal. I'm not here to give you fluff and all that, okay? I'm gonna give you everything you need to close a deal. And the last piece of that puzzle is, how the hell do I make sure that I do everything properly to make sure I get paid and my partners or investors get paid? And that's where the operating agreement comes in. Now, this is where you really want to use an attorney, okay? But the operating agreement outlines exactly the terms of you and the partner's agreement. So is it ownership? Are you guys 50-50 owners? Or are you the 100% owner and they're just funding it, okay? Is it a profit split? What is it? They get 30, you get 70, are you 50-50 profits, right? You can have 50-50 profits, but 100% ownership to you. That's a real thing. So what's the risk scenarios? What happens if the deal doesn't go good, right? Who's in charge of decision making? There's clarity here that needs to be had. Just because you're giving me the money doesn't mean you can tell me what color to paint the porch, okay? So you want to have that outlined in your operating agreement. And we talked earlier, exit terms. How are we getting out of this deal, okay? Like I said, I can't reiterate this enough. Guys, use an attorney. I'm giving you the game of what needs to be done. You got to go do it. I didn't even give you our operating agreement template because, again, I'm not trying to get to use an attorney. Step 9, close the deal, okay? 9-step process, execute, bring it all together. Capital, the contract, the legal structure, and then perform, guys. It's got to be a good investment. It could be a good one on paper. You got the money, the bank gives you the money, cool, you close. Now you got to manage that flip and make sure it makes money. Now you got to manage that rental, make sure you get good tenants in it, okay? Because one successful deal, it turns to many. One unsuccessful deal will make using other people's money harder and harder as you go along, okay? Now, the goal of this playbook, I already mentioned earlier, okay? Listen, I want you to become known as the person with the deals, okay? I want you to become known as the person who executes, who gets you know what done. And I want you to be known as the person people trust with their capital. That's how you create consistent access to OPM. Now, with all this information, your job now is to actually go and execute. You don't want to be a consumer. Now, you've consumed this content just like everyone else who's consumed this content and many others on my page and all the other YouTube creators giving game in real estate. But all of those people don't invest. If you look under some of those videos, some of them have 500,000 views, 1 million views heated, 10K views. But all of those people are not investors. They're just consumers or people just consuming real estate content. You want to set yourself apart from being one of those people. Now, if this list that I gave you overwhelmed you, okay, and you want assistance actually creating everything that I gave you, building a system that works on autopilot, being led by an operator who's done this dozens of times, raised millions of dollars and purchased over 50 houses across 5 different states, then like I said earlier, in the description, there's a link for you to apply to our Deal Flow Accelerator. It's a 90-day accelerator where we walk you through everything in this document, plus dozens of other SOPs that we've created over the last 6 years, going on 7 years actually, that we've been doing this business. Again, my name is Morrison III, and I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video, or hopefully on the one-on-one call. Peace.